Okay, everyone, this is a quick video on how to use Subversion for managing your source code that you'll be writing this semester. The first thing that you need to make sure you've done is install the Tortoise Svn Subversion client. If you don't have a copy of that, you can download one from the website, which is on the course website. Just go to the course website, the syllabus, useful resources, software page, and you can also Google for Tortoise Svn. Download the appropriate version for your system and install that. Once you do, when you right-click on a directory, you will see that you have this Tortoise Svn Check Out menu here. So the next step before you begin coding is to make sure that you have a working copy of your remote repository code stored on your local machine. So click Svn Check Out, and that will bring up a window like this. So you should type in the URL http://svn.umatter2.us/ISAT52/spring2011, and then your team name. Your team name is sanitized so that it's all lowercase. It has no special characters like plus signs or things like that, and there are dashes between the names. If you don't remember the name, get in contact with me and I will make sure that you get it. But I created a directory called the prof for myself, and so this is the remote repository directory that I'd like to download. The checkout directory is going to be in my documents folder, and it's going to create a directory called the prof. If I'd like, I can change the name of that folder to anything I'd like. It doesn't really matter what it is. For this video, I'm going to stick with the default. Then click OK, and it'll pop up request for username and password, which I will type in. And then if you click Save Authentication, it will remember you so that you don't have to type in your authentication information every time. And you can see that it downloaded all of my code, and we're at revision 127. I click OK. You can see now that I have a professor called the prof, which if I go in has my fuel efficiency converter code from the video that I made the other day. So let's say I wanted to start a new project. I'll want to start the new project in a new folder within my repository. So I'm going to go to Visual Studio. Okay, now that I have Visual Studio opened up, I'm going to create a new project. Okay, three very important steps. The first thing is that I select the correct project type. I want a Visual Basic Windows application. It's a Windows Forms application. The name of my application is also important. Let's call this one Subversion Demo. And the location of the project is important. I'd like to browse, and I'm going to go to my documents and select the prof, which is the location of my working copy that I just downloaded, and this is the folder that I would like to put it in. So I'm going to click select folder, and then make sure you uncheck the box that says create directory for solution. Then click OK. Okay, now my project has been created and I can begin working on it. For example, I can start by renaming Form 1 to something more useful like frm subversion demo.bb and selecting yes. Once that's done, I can begin adding things to my form. Like button, and then when I'm ready to save, I can just hit Control S to save all of my code. And now when I get done working for the day, I'll switch back to my folder. Right, and now you see that my Subversion demo project has been stored inside of my local working copy, and I'm ready to add it to the remote repository. And the way you do that is you right click, select Subversion Add, and that will list all the files that I just added. I'll click OK. Now I get a little plus sign showing that it has been added to the list of files that I'd like to keep track of, but it has not been uploaded yet. To upload it, I need to right click and say Svn commit, and I'll say version 1 of the Subversion demo project, and then click OK. And you can see that all of those files have been uploaded and added to the remote repository, and I can click OK. I can also go on at this point and continue to make changes to my file, and then whenever I want to commit the rest of my changes, I just have to go back, click commit, and put a little message in, and then upload those things. Okay, so you can see now that I've got my repository all up to date. It's got the code that I just wrote, and that's been safely put on the repository, so I know it'll be there. Now, I'm going to delete all of this. And now let's pretend, for sake of example, that this is not my home computer, or this is not the computer that I normally use in the lab. This is a totally different computer that I'm sitting down at to get some work done on my project. All I have to do to start work on my project is click Svn Check Out, go and get version of my code from the repository. All right, once that's downloaded, now I can go into my folder here. You can see the Subversion demo code that I just wrote before and had checked in is here. Click on there, open the solution file, go ahead and open the form, and there's everything just like I left it. So now I can go continue and say, oh geez, this button should say something else. Subversion demonstrate. Alright, and can make some changes, begin doing some things to my file, save it. Alright, close up Visual Studio, and now you can see everything has been, some of the things have changed. They have little red exclamation points on them. Now I can again commit my changes, updated the Subversion demo, and click OK. And it will modify it and send that to the repository. And you can do this as many places as you'd like, and you'll always have an up-to-date version of your code, and all members of your team will have up-to-date versions of the code. They'll all be able to work with it, and if we ever want to do code walkthroughs in class, or I want to demonstrate your code, I'll know exactly where to go look for it. If you come see me in my office during office hours and want to work on your code, you don't have to remember to bring a flash drive. Lots of benefits to using Subversion, and so I think by the end of this class you will greatly appreciate it and maybe even use it in your other classes as well. Hope this was helpful.